23 years old, and I own one of the best marketed leasing agencies in my local market. And today I'm going to talk to you about the social media strategies that we used, how we got into doing these things, and tips and tricks that you can use to build your business, your service as an entrepreneur through social media. In the last 90 days, we've amounted close to 4 million views just on Facebook. We have close to 16,000 followers in just the last 10 months. We've had 16,000 followers start to follow us. And this is not on accident, okay? Well, kind of, sort of, but not really. This was a strategy. This was a plan. When we first started, we knew that we had a ton of apartments to rent, right? I'm a leasing agent. I knew that I had like 40, 50, 60 apartments at any given time that I had to rent. And the thing that I thought was, what's the best way to market these things? So I sat down, put a list together of the best way to market them. I had realized 90% of the stuff that I wanted to use for marketing was social media. It was Instagram, Facebook, Nextdoor app, LinkedIn, all these different apps. You know, those were at the top of my list. They were a bulk of my list. And I continued to realize paper marketing is dead. You know, I'm not going to go and waste my time putting up bulletins in school for 200 people to walk by versus putting it on social media and getting 1.2 million views for, 5 videos. So that's exactly what we started doing, is we started just going out for content, taking pictures and videos of these apartments and just posting them on Facebook. Nothing crazy, just posting them on Facebook, seeing how it would work. And over time, we started to get tenants from Facebook. I was like, oh, this is working. So then I said, let's execute on the whole entire list. We sat down and we were like, are the apartments on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Nextdoor app, LinkedIn, everywhere that we could find, we had to get the apartments up on there. So what we did was we just started going to every single apartment, getting photo, video, whatever we could do and posting it. You know, we had 50, 60 apartments available. We were doing video and photo for each one. So it was like 200 posts a week. And ultimately, what we started noticing was people were paying attention to our posts. People liked what we were doing. And we thought, how can we make this better? So I had finally decided that, I was going to give up my fear and get behind the camera. When I did that, we made one video for TikTok, and we started the TikTok. We made one video. I did not want to post it. I thought I looked stupid in the video, but just by dumb luck, the video got like 42,000 views. And I was like, whoa, this is kind of cool. Like, I had people who reached out to me from that video. So I'm like, maybe I should try more of this. So that's what we did. Next couple of months, we just started going from property to property, videos of me walking through the property, videos of walkthroughs of the property, like without me in it. And it started doing better. And what we had realized was there were certain video styles or certain video formats that people liked and that, people watched more. And then there were the certain formats that people didn't watch as much. And we said, let's look at what's working and double down on it. So we were this whole start of the couple months, we were testing all these different content strategies and formats. And then once we hit a format for our business, for our market that worked, we doubled down. So, it's stupid, but what started working was I would do videos of walkthroughs of apartments without me in them, and I would speed up the video and then put a little bit of words over it. And people either loved it or they hated it or whatever, but they saw it. And that was the important thing. They saw it. So what we started doing is okay, people are seeing this by the thousand. Let's double down on this content and see how it goes. So we doubled down, and it was working. And then I think people started to get a little okay, Max is posting the same format of video every single day. And I was watching a Mr. Beast video where Mr. Beast was talking about how he's constantly testing new formats because he doesn't want to get left in the dust using an old format, because everything is going to get old at some point, right? So that's what I did. I continued to test new formats. I continued to double down on what worked. And that ultimately helped me gain more views. Just testing formats, doubling down on what works. Try different videos, try different photos, try different formats. And then understand what format you're using, right? So if you're doing a walkthrough of yourself through the apartment, like that's a different format with me in the video. That's a different format than me not being in the video, or the video being slowed down versus the video being sped up. Like these are all different formats that you're using on social media. So doubled down on my format that worked and views started working. You know what I mean? Then I'm like thinking to myself, okay, we have however many apartments, let's market them 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week on the Facebook. I started to get worried. Like I'm posting way too much. I'm posting 300, 400, 500 times a week. And what I realized is that the algorithm isn't even pushing this to everybody. The algorithm is pushing this to the people that want to see my content and that watch my content. And it's also pushing it to more and more people the more that I post outside of my followers. But also, it's not showing to the people that don't want to see what I have. And if they don't like it, they could just unfollow. So I was worried. I'm like, I'm going to spam everybody's feed, and it's, people are going to be upset with me. And it never happened. If anything, I had people that said as a joke that they were going to mute me because my marketing is all over the place. And that's what you want. You want your marketing to be all over the place. One thing I'll tell you about marketing, and you'll see this if you take any marketing class, watch any marketing video, you need anywhere from 7 to 12, I think the number is, touch points on a customer before they actually reach out or they actually want to start working with you or start buying from you, And when I say touch point, I mean they see you here, they see you there, they see you here, they see you there. What if they could see you 10 times on social media, And that won't cost you anything. What if they could see you 20 times or 30 times on social media? That was the beauty of it. So we decided, hey, let's get as many videos out there as we can. So we just started blowing up the content. We doubled down on what worked, and then we weren't scared to just post. Then I got into learning about scheduling posts. So on Facebook, Instagram, you can schedule a post. So then what we started doing is we're like, the content's working so well. I hired someone to full-time do the marketing for me and essentially just start scheduling posts all the time. That wasn't their only job, but scheduling every single property to be posted 3 times a week. So now we have 5-10 scheduled posts per day. And then we have whatever else in videos per day. Like we're producing like crazy, just blowing out the content, like in insane amounts of content all the time. And as weird as it felt and as scary as it was, like we started getting into this groove of just like things are just kind of getting filmed and getting posted and getting filmed and getting posted. And I wasn't thinking about it. I was getting more comfortable being on camera. And that's what started to help even more. So another tip that I want to add to this is like, I was scared at the beginning of filming content. I didn't want to be in the content. I thought it looked stupid. I thought that it just wasn't going to work. People weren't going to like me. The first video we posted got 42,000 views by dumb luck, but still, I was like, people aren't saying anything bad about me. Nothing bad is happening. Like, why am I scared? And that's something that I hear looking into content all the time that I want to tell you. Don't be afraid to post a piece of content. Go scroll through my videos on YouTube. I got probably 100 and something videos of me blabbing like this. They're not great, but they help people. They bring value, and we're improving. And, that's kind of the big thing about social media is just, or anything, but we're talking about social media is being consistent, right? But also learning how to get better and doubling down on what works. And if you could just be consistent with posting your content regularly, right? You double down on what works, right? Then you start getting this snowball. You double down on what works. Your snowball is getting bigger. Then you start, quadrupling down on what works. Your snowball gets bigger. You keep testing more. You find better formats to use. Your snowball gets bigger. And over time of consistency mixed with the strategy of just doubling down on what's working and posting regular content and just staying consistent with high amounts of volume when it comes to content, you almost can't lose. And what I had noticed over time was people that I didn't even know were reaching out to me, people that I have never met. I see them in public and they say hello to me. It was amazing. The power of social media was working. The people who I was trying to reach, I started to reach. And then I just got even more motivated to continue on with doing it, So it was great. it was absolutely amazing. In the last, 90 days, like I said, we've done a couple million views. It's been absolutely amazing. Facebook's been paying us to post. I don't know how that happened. So now Facebook's paying me like, I don't know, a couple $100 a month or something to post on Facebook, which is fun. We're almost monetized on TikTok. Then I was like, what else could I do? Personal branding, bring it to YouTube. Like, I'm this entrepreneur trying to make my business work. Like, let me talk about it on YouTube. And it's just another way. That's the cool thing about social media. Another leg, another leg, another leg. You have all these different legs of content. You got your personal brand, you got your business brand, and then you can, I guess I should say with the legs, I was more wanting to say, you could take those brandings and you could put it on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Nextdoor, all these different, like, there's so many social media platforms, Twitter or X or whatever it is now. I don't use X. But regardless, like, that's how you build a social media empire. It's not hard. You know what I mean? It really isn't. Like, you start filming, right? Here's like, I'm just going to give you a quick timeline and then I'll end this video so you don't have to listen to me blab anymore. You start the timeline in saying, I'm just going to post. I'm just going to suck it up and I'm going to post. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to suck. People aren't good at anything when they start. Everybody starts somewhere, and you start posting. Keep posting consistently, right? And then you're going to hit a point where something works. And then when something works, study that video. Double down on that format. Okay, you're still going. Double down on that format. Once you double down on that format, then I want you to start posting in higher volume. Okay? Once you start posting in higher volume, you need to find a way to continue to just push the volume, keep testing new formats and building. And then that's when you're going to get to a point where people will start reaching out to you. You'll start, seeing people in public, whatever, and they see you because you have a huge net of content out there. So that's really all I did. It wasn't anything crazy. It was kind of sort of on accident, but it really wasn't, because I was studying how to get better and I was building up. So either way, 100%, I love doing content for my leasing agency and the apartments that I represent, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's so much fun. If you want to see the content that we make, Buffalo Apartments Co. 1, it's called Buffalo Apartments Co. 1 on TikTok. If you just look up Buffalo Apartments on TikTok, you'll see it. It'll come up. Max Salmon on Facebook. We have, I think, 7,000 on Facebook and then like 9,000 on TikTok, or 8,000 or whatever it is. So it's combined of almost 16,000 followers in just the last year is when we essentially started doing this. And a couple million views. And a lot of really great contacts made, and a lot of really good business has been done just through social media. I was cold calling at the beginning of my career. I still cold call, but social media was doing so well that I was doubling down, and more people were seeing, and we were making more business. So one of those things, where you just find out what's working and double down and keep going, So stay on the ball, stay consistent out there. This is how you build your social media empire or your social media marketing net, or at least how I did it. If you like this kind of video, please leave a comment down below and let me know. I make new videos like this every single day, how to help you as an entrepreneur, from an entrepreneur who's 23 years old that's built a business himself up to 6 figures in revenue. Plus, I have learned some cool stuff, so I thought that I would help you as well. And hopefully you got some value out of this video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up down below and subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every day. Leave a comment down below if you liked this content, or if it helped you today, or if you have any comments for me. I answer every single one of your comments, and I'm very, very grateful and appreciative for all of your support, because this channel is for you. So if I know that I'm helping you, if I just helped one person today, I'll feel better. Or I'll feel even better than I already do. Not that I feel bad. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all my people who are constantly supporting me. I love you so much. And until next time, we'll talk soon.